Okay, let's walk and talk. I just did a National Grand Prix with Foxy today here in San Diego, and it went really well. But first, I think it's important to go back to a few weeks back where I was at a 2-star up in Northern California and look at that Grand Prix. We had a rail, it was my fault, but I want to go over that because in that round, I want to talk about some of the issues with my ride, with my approach, and then we'll cover, how I went from that round to the round today and what I've changed and how I've tried to grow. Foxy is amazing and she is just unbelievable. And so every time you jump her, it's really important to learn as much as you can. So let's review that round in Woodside, and then we'll come back. Okay, so this was a 2-star Grand Prix, and it was the first one we did, and you can see a little bit of quickness in the stride. It was a quick stride, not a more rangy type stride. And I think that was the big thing I learned from this round. Too quick back there. We were too far under the time allowed, which is a problem. And I need to learn to bring her back, be calm, have more range. Instead of going by quickness, this round is teaching me that range is more important here. You've seen it throughout the round. Going to this fence, you see it's all quick. You see a little throw in the head. My hands aren't right. The bit isn't right. Look, we're leaning in, shoulders in, too close here. We have a rail. That's because of a lack of rideability in my approach. How I flatted her, how I approached the walk, which then leads into the ride. And I need to learn from this and get better. This is a really good learning experience. So, we had a rail. That's not great. I don't like that. But it's not bad. But there's a lot of issues that I spoke about and I need to work on. So I came home after that horse show, worked on some flat work. I needed to find more range in the arena when we show. So instead of a quick stride that's like hop, 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 I wanted more of that scope type range in a horse. And so this week in San Diego, I've been working on trying to find that. Be a little bit more patient in the turns. Try to keep her shoulders less angled when you're going into a turn and a little bit more square. Some of you dressage people are saying, oh, that's what we do. And that's correct. So some of the pieces are dressage type, influences. So going into this week, that is what I was trying to do, is to be a bit more patient, more range. So let's watch the first round. Okay, so here we go to the first fence. A little bit rushing. I saw a going distance, and I thought it was the right choice to take it. Again, a little going to fence 2. I want more range. And so 1 to 2 is maybe not that. I'm sitting up here trying to have a little bit more normal canter. A little bit steady. That 5 was more steady than I expected. And just try to canter down to this combination. No problem. Nice and easy. There's a quick turn here, and I'm trying not rush. Nice canter, easy going. Again, I'm trying to use that range. This 4 was shorter than I expected, even though I knew it was going to be short. This 4 was even shorter. So I walked it, and they were going to be short. And they were even shorter than I expected, which means I'm getting more range, which is a good thing in some ways. Nice 8, out 8 to the combination. The way she jumps to this combination is just, she's amazing. You can see the legs, but the feeling in the saddle is unbelievable. This is actually a little bit of a weird jump because I asked too much to the right because I wanted 8 strides here instead of 9 that most people did. A little bit steady 6, more steady than I expected. Okay, so that's a super interesting first round for me. When I my feeling when I rode Foxy today in that first round compared to Woodside in the Grand Prix is completely different. I know in the video it might not seem as big, but it was staggering how different it was. Because like I said, I'm trying to go from a too quick stride in the turns and too much angle in the body to something more square, more rangy. And the canter has completely changed in 2 weeks. That's just a change of flat work, a change of approach. We did change the bridle. We went from a loose ring, double broken with a port in the middle, to, I call it a young horse bit. It's, a loose ring, double broken, no port in the middle. So it's really soft. Because I wanted her to be more stable in the contact. And I wanted my hand to be more stable. In the video from Woodside, it was too unstable, too much her going like this a bit. So I wanted more stability, and I got that, and I was super proud of that. I'm happy with that progress. The lines are getting more short to ride, which is a happy byproduct, because when you want more range, that's going to happen. So I need to work on being able to collect her canter better in the lines and to have a better walk. But again, it's a happy progression. So I'm happy with this progression. Let's watch the jump off. So, I wanted to give it a good jump off to learn what I need to do, where the failures in my ride and in my approach, in my walk, to make sure that I can learn from that so that I can come up to speed as quickly as possible with Foxy to give her the ride she deserves. So let's watch the jump off. I have a rail, so heads up, I have a rail, and we'll talk about it. Okay, nice run to fence one. It's a bit of an interesting start because you start in a hard rollback. Quick turn back, love it. I walked 8, but it seemed 7 was possible. So nice walk in 7, and then keep going in 8 here. She's on point. She's flying here. And then I was a bit worried about this double of verticals in a jump off, but look at how she jumps B. She stops on the floor, comes back. And so I felt this next fence was going to be okay. Kept going, normal distance, tiny hind toe. I mean, just, God, why didn't I ride that better? And then a run down to the last fence. Love it. She's amazing. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot of things I'm really happy about. I'm able to find more range in her canter and less of a quick stride. And that's giving me more power. And I love that. In the jump off, the turn from 1 to 2, great flowing. I was too far in. That actually the 7, which was the leave out, ended up a bit short. Her stride is bigger than I expected. And then the 8 was great after that. The purple oxer, U-turn. The way she jumped that combination in the jump off, the double of verticals, was amazing. Like, you're feeling as a rider, it's everything you've ever dreamed of. It was amazing. So come out on the left side of that from B, and from how she jumped that combination, I maybe felt too free in my turn to the second to last. I felt like my distance was okay, was good. I felt like my support with my legs, my seat, my hands was okay, and in a good place. I don't want to pull too hard off the floor if I don't have to. And I felt like it was in a good place. Obviously it was not, because we had a hind toe on that vertical. A lot of people had that rail in the jump off in this class, but that's no justification. I needed to sit up more, maybe give her a slightly more space on takeoff, more room to the vertical, which I could have done. I saw it very early, I could have done that. But my feeling, like from Woodside, the first round you saw, I felt like there was still a lot I needed to figure out. There was a lot of great things and great feelings, but it wasn't, I didn't feel like one operating unit. Where today I felt a lot more like one operating unit. And I'm very grateful with that, with all the work that we've been doing since Woodside to this show. And I like that. I'm not happy about the rail, but I know how to fix that. I feel I know how to fix that. I think we're on the right path. I like the bit change, softer bit, simple cavesson noseband. Great. We're going to keep going. She's such a joy to be around, and the great horses inspire you, and she's one of those. Karol is absolutely one of those. Kalinka is absolutely one of those, and Foxy just inspires you. If you don't get inspired by those horses, then stop being around horses. They're so beautiful, they're so amazing, and yeah, I love them so much.